Bernard Hopkins versus Adonis Stevenson. Would you want to see this fight happen? And who do you think would win this fight? We just seen Hopkins lose, got shut out every round against Sergey Kovalev, the best light heavyweight in the world. And he lost his 2 titles now. But there is still one more title to be had, and that is Adonis Stevenson. And if Stevenson probably won't fight Kovalev, will Stevenson have enough balls to get in the ring with Hopkins still? And I'm starting to doubt that too. But if Hopkins is going to not retire, he should fight Stevenson. And that's the only fight he should fight if he's not going to retire. So you got Adonis Stevenson fighting Setskotsky, guy from Russia, very unknown. We know what Al Heyman and what they're trying to do there on Showtime. They want to get Adonis Stevenson a knockout victory, obviously. And anyway, they're obviously planning for him to win. It's pretty obvious, but the WBC champion, on paper, they look at him as the #1 light heavyweight. He's facing a guy no one knows at all. And how do you consider him #1? And he ducked 3 guys. He ducked Kovalev, he ducked Hopkins, he ducked Pascal, and then he's fighting this guy now. And he had trouble with Funfara, and he got dropped twice, and he gassed. So how do I think, if he actually has the balls and he takes the fight with Bernard Hopkins, who do I think would win Hopkins versus Stevenson? Bernard Hopkins, 100%, all the way. Bernard Hopkins would make him look like a fool. He would outbox him. He would just pick him. He would just slap him around, beat him up for 12 rounds, and make him look like a fool. And the only chance Stevenson would have, and I don't think he does have a chance, but if he did pull off the victory, the only way he could is if he knocked out Hopkins in the early fights with his only good punch. The straight left hand is his only really very good punch, because he's got a lot of power in that left hand. But so that's his only key. That's his only way of winning. Very slim, but that's his only way of winning. And if Bernard Hopkins could take the heaviest shots from Kovalev, how do you think he would take Adonis's shots? A much slower guy. And in my opinion, Kovalev has way more power in both hands than Adonis has, and he's way quicker. He's way smarter. Kovalev's just he's just overall the way better boxer, the way better fighter than Adonis is. So how would Hopkins do? He would take the power easily. He wouldn't get knocked out. And Stevenson would gas out halfway in the fight. And it would just, Bernard Hopkins would make a fool out of him. And pretty much just, like I said, he would just start hitting him with a lot of shots later in the fight. And I could see him dropping Stevenson too, for sure. Because Hopkins got incredible timing, very good reflexes. And just the pace that Stevenson fights at is very slow. The guy's slow. He's sluggish. Like I said, the only thing he's got is really power in that left hand. And really, from the performance I've seen from him in Funfara, and the fact that he ducked both all of these guys, and just stylistically, Hopkins is the number 2 light heavyweight in the world, in my opinion. Besides Kovalev, he's number 2 in my opinion, and he would beat Kovalev. I mean, Hopkins would beat Adonis Stevenson by unanimous decision probably, and he would probably drop him a couple times, maybe drop him once later in the fight, but he would pretty much just beat him up, slap him around, make him look stupid, make him look like a fool. Adonis would gas out, and Hopkins would just show off his superior alien boxing skills. So, in my opinion, Hopkins wins that fight, and it's probably easier than we think. Adonis Stevenson's really, I did used to like the guy until he started ducking all the time. I don't know what happened, but anyway, that's the way it goes. Showed off that he didn't want to fight the tougher fights, and you could kind of blame that on Al Heyman too, and all that. But anyway, it's up to the fighter too. You got to tell the promoter, I want to fight the best, and he obviously didn't. And who do you think would win the fight? Hopkins or Stevenson. If the fight does happen, I'm going with Hopkins. Beat him by decision easily.